Hello, it's Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my Plan With Me video for November. I'm just starting a new bullet journal, so this is a Rhodia Goal book. I've only got a few pages left in my last one, so I decided that I would make sure I started a new one so that I had the whole month in here. I'm starting off by creating my welcome pages for the month, and the first thing I'm doing is writing out a quote. I'm using a Staedtler pigment liner with a 0.05 nib, and the quote I'm writing is an extract from Anne of Green Gables, and it reads, "It was November, the month of crimson sunsets, parting birds, deep sad hymns of the sea, passionate wind songs in the pines." And I thought that was absolutely beautiful and just perfect for the month of November. The next thing I'm doing is drawing out an autumnal wreath, and I sketched this in pencil first, and I used a compass to get a good idea of the circle shape, and then I'm adding various twigs and leaves. I always like to create welcome pages for the new month. For me, it just sets the scene for that new chapter. And whilst I'm doing something creative, it helps me to feel peaceful and also start considering the kinds of things that I want to achieve in the month to come. I'd been for a dog walk early on the morning of filming this video, and I collected lots of leaves and conkers and twigs, those sorts of things, and I like to do printing with those with ink in my journal pages, and I think I definitely had those on my mind as I was creating the welcome pages for this month. To add some colour, I'm using Derwent Pro Colour pencils, and I'm using the dark and light browns, orange and greens, and I'll be just blending some of the brown pencil over the top of the orange and greens where I think they look a bit too bright for this time of year. And I'll also be using the dark brown to trace over the black lines to try and represent twigs. To try and balance out the colours that I used, I've just been using those same colours in rotation, so I just keep swapping between them to try and make sure I've got roughly the same amount of each colour going throughout the circle of the wreath. It's ages since I've sketched out a wreath, but I was really happy with how this one turned out. For my next pages, I'm sketching out a calendar for the month. I've completely changed my style for November, and that's because I found that I'm not getting enough space on the old calendar I was using to be able to fit in appointments and deadlines that all happen to be on the same day. So I'm hoping by drawing out this layout it should give me much more room. If you're looking to recreate the same layout, then the boxes for each day of the month are 7 dots by 7 dots. I'm writing the days of the week across the top of my page, and I've also got 2 boxes on the right hand side, and one is for tasks and one is for my social media tracker. I'm then going to add numbers in the top right hand corner of each square for the different dates of the month. For decoration, I'm going to use these gorgeous stamps from London Gifties and Distress Oxide ink in frayed burlap. And I'm going to add the pine cones to the first 3 boxes on the top and the 2 at the bottom on the right, and then also use them as decoration along the bottom of my page. For coloured highlights, I'm using the Tombow ABT in 990, and I'm using that along the header, and I will also use it to colour in the cones. Finally, on this page I'm using another Tombow in N75 just to highlight the top of each box and the boxes on the right hand page. This is the calendar layout that I used last month, and as you can see I did start to struggle for space. The next page I'm setting up is my gratitude page, and I will be using some classic-y washi tape from London Gifties, and the only difference I'll make on this page is I'm no longer going to include the highlights page on the right hand side. As I document this in my other journals, I'll now use that space for my habit tracker. I really enjoy using a habit tracker each month. I do try and change some of the activities on the left that I'm going to track, depending on the things that I really want to achieve throughout the course of the month. I'm now adding some small decorations to the bottom of my page to tie in with the autumn theme, and I'll be using those same Derwent Pro Colour pencils to colour them in. And this is how my habit tracker is looking partway through the month of October. I'll be continuing to use a master task list in November. This has worked really well for me the last few months, and it's the place that I quickly jot down any tasks that I know I've got coming up but don't need to complete on the day that I think of them. For some quick decoration, I'm adding some watercolour stickers from Notebook Therapy. And here you can see my master task list in use. The final pages I'm setting up are my Reasons to be Proud page and a page for notes. Last month I had a double page spread for Reasons to be Proud and a double page spread for notes and ideas, and I found that was probably more space than I needed. For the coloured lines, I definitely took inspiration from Christina 77 Star. I always think it looks so effective. But I know I'm not as neat as her, so I added some thin washi down the side just to mask off those areas. I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I can't wait to see how well they work for me throughout the month. I I really hope you've enjoyed watching this month's Plan With Me video, and I hope it's given you some new ideas for your bullet journal. If you decide to recreate any of them and share them on Instagram, please do tag me in because I love to see what you've come up with. And if you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. If you've got any questions or comments, please do leave them down below and I'll get back to you. And thank you ever so much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.